constant innovation, unparalleled education, groundbreaking global business education you'll find only at Oxford College of Business. That's because all we do, all we are, is business education.
Returning officers of all the districts released the voter turnout figures with the exception of Colombo. Accordingly, the voter turnout for the Gampar district, which was at 30% this morning, increased to 75%. According to the district returning officer for Kaluthara, UDC Jailal, voter turnout for the district increased from 20% to 80% at the conclusion of the polls. The Kandy district saw a significant turnout of 40% by 10 this morning, which concluded at 65%. Matale district saw 50% of eligible votes cast at the polls by noon, ending at 80%. Meanwhile, District Returning Officer for Nuwara, Rohana Pushpakumara, said that 70% of eligible voters exercised their right by 4 p.m. Towards the southern region of the island, the Galle district saw voter turnout of 41% by noon, which increased to 75%, while Mathura and Hambantota saw a turnout of 70% and 80% respectively. In the north, District Returning Officer for Jaffna, Nagalinga Vedanayagam, said that 70% of people voted in this year's local authorities election. Meanwhile, Kilinochchi district, which saw a voter turnout of 50% by noon, concluded with 76% of votes. District returning officers in the eastern region of the island saw a voter turnout of 75% and 85% in the districts of Batticaloa and Trincomalee respectively. The Kurunegala district, which saw a turnout of 69% by 2 this afternoon, saw 78% of votes fall in this year's local authorities election. 69% of voters cast their vote in the Puttalam district by 2 this afternoon and ended the day with 73%. Anuradhapura district returning officer R.M. Vanyanayaka said that 85% of eligible voters exercised their right to vote. Meanwhile, the Polonnaruwa district saw a voter turnout of 75% by this evening, which was at a mere 18% by 10 this morning. Districts of Badulla, Monragala, Ratnapura recorded a voter turnout of over 60% by 2 this afternoon and concluded on a favourable note at 65%, at 65%, 80%, 75 to 80% respectively. Galle district, however, saw 70% of a voter turnout by this evening. Districts of Mana, Vaunia, Mullaitivu and Ampara saw a turnout of over 60% by 2 this afternoon. Upon conclusion of polls at 4 this evening, voter turnout stood at 77%, 72%, 78% and 70% respectively.